Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at YouTubers and others to see if they demonstrate any traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. These videos are for fun and entertainment purposes only, strictly my opinion, and remember, please don't send any snark to our possible narcs. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Hello, hola, bonjour, hey y'all, my name is Merc. Welcome back to the Narc Alert. Well, here we are as promised, back for part 2 of our Narc Alert look at AMBERLYNNS live stream. But before we proceed, I would be remiss in not mentioning we just watched Beck's latest video where they are responding to Amberlynn Reid, and I just wanted to personally shout out to Beck, not that they need it, but as a fellow survivor of a narcissist, I wanted to say thank you, Beck, for your honesty and your candor. You are truly the inspirational YouTuber now that Amberlynn only dreams to be. You keep doing you. Stay out of the toxic swamp and keep getting better. You got this. I'm very proud of you. You know who we're not proud of? This one. Let's get into it.
I've never been someone that's like, my money, like that's never been me, or I would have gotten my own bank account and I would have stayed on my own bank account. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's just like so weird to me, because it was a joint bank account. We both had our own debit cards. Like, I had nothing. I had no private spot for my money. I didn't even know how much money I had half of the time. Like, I had to ask them to send me screenshots of the bank statement. Like, ugh.
Number 9. Claims she never saw the settlement money and that, quote, it just went into the joint account. I don't know what happened to it. Number 10. She lied and said that she took the joint debit card away from me because Jade was uncomfortable. That card was only attached to the joint account we shared that originally was my account, and by that time she already had a separate private account with the same bank that all of her money was going in.
This keeping score shit is very immature. So, like, I think it's only fair, like, when you're in a relationship, like, you can be accountable for things and also share your side of the story.
Holding grudges. Narcissists tend to keep score in relationships. This serves their ego, control, and sense of superiority. Unlike healthy individuals who might keep track of give and take for fairness, narcissists do it for power, validation, and manipulation. They remember every perceived slight or mistake and bring it up in arguments even years later. And they use past transgressions as weapons to guilt trip or shame you.
Like, that goes for both of us. Like, why is it only okay for them to share their story, but I'm not able to? And a lot of people are like, well, it's because you're an abuser. Beck is like a victim. Remember when I shared my story about Casey, and I still stand by every single thing I said about Casey. I still stand by that.
How they double down on lies. Amber is using denial and deflection of the Beck story to play victim on the Casey story. Well, it's like art. She flat out denies reality, hoping you'll drop it, and then plays victim, trying to make you feel guilty for even questioning her.
No one believed me. No one believed a single thing I said. That has been one of the most torturous things that I've ever gone through in my actual lifetime. And no one believed a single thing that I said.
Changing the subject. If backed into a corner, they will suddenly bring up something completely different. For example, oh, so now I'm a liar? We'll remember the Casey story? They shift blame. Instead of addressing the lie, they attack you for questioning them.
I am always, in the eyes of everyone else, the abuser to everybody. I never have my own story. Two things can never be true at once. Like, I'm always the bad guy. And it's a lot for one fucking person to take on, especially like when I know my truth and I know what I'm saying is real. Like, it has been torturous. Literally torturous.
Narcissistic injury. It is a deep ego wound when you don't believe their lies. They feel exposed and vulnerable, even if they don't show it. Their self-image is built on being right and superior, so being caught in a lie is a personal attack. If you don't believe their lie, they fear losing control over you. They panic and try harder to regain power, either by gaslighting or using guilt, anger, or manipulation.
Amberlynn, let it go after this. People want to believe the worst and they're called trolls for a reason. They're the worst of the worst. This is challenging to watch. No one should have to do this. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, it's hectic. That's for the lack of a better word. You're asking for personal questions. You had told us you had an IEP. What was your disability? You have traits of autism with trauma and narcissism. What's an IEP? Hello, Dixon. Shout out to you from Angelina.
Why a narcissist ignores your question. Answering means they might have to admit they were wrong, so they just refuse to engage. Ignoring you makes them feel dominant and keeps you chasing for their response. It's a control tactic. They pretend you didn't ask and start talking about something else, or they pretend they're confused. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you feel like people are holding you to unrealistic standards? If Beck didn't speak out about anything in the moment, how can you be expected to know everything? You're only human. Yeah, that's very true. And yes, I absolutely am held to unrealistic standards. Like it's honestly insane to me. And I'm just going to use this as an example because it's like the first thing that I can think of is like Zachary and Michael for an instance. Like, and it's hard because it's like even he has this unrealistic view of how I should be as a person, as a girlfriend, as a daughter, as a YouTuber. No matter what I'm showing in my videos, it's never good enough for him. And this is his job. So it's like, if your job is like to react to someone that's actually interesting to you, because obviously I'm not it.
Narcissists want it both ways. They love to have things both ways. The main goal is control, superiority, and avoiding accountability. They create double standards that benefit them no matter what. There's rules for you, but not for them. They demand praise, but reject criticism. They want control, but not responsibility. They demand attention, but withdraw when it's convenient. They expect empathy, but show none.
I'm not up to your standards of anything. Like nothing is ever good enough. Like I talk about my BPD because I want to hold myself accountable and I want to grow and learn and share and heal. Not good enough. I show my passions like Lego, this and that. Not good enough. Like no matter what I do, no matter what I show, like I'm never giving up this whole weight loss thing, but like I watched Zachary's video from today and I'm talking about Weight Watchers and he's just rolling his eyes the whole time. And it's just like, I'm never going to be like this perfect person. Like I'm looked at like I'm supposed to be perfect and I'm not going to be.
This is one of my personal favorites. Why narcissists talk about perfection. Narcissists believe that they're special. Saying I'm not perfect is often just a way to fish for compliments. By admitting that I'm not perfect, they deflect deeper scrutiny. They talk about perfection because they secretly think they're actually close to it. And it's meant to make them look self-aware without taking any real accountability. Talking about perfection or the lack of it still keeps them at the center of attention.
I'm genuinely not. Like, I'm, yeah. Do you feel like people are holding you to an unrealistic standard? Yes. Yes. Forever, yes. Like, what do you want me to do? I am 500 pounds, Zach. What do you want me to do in a YouTube video? Like, I don't get it. Like, I know this was probably a question referring to like Beck. I get that. I mean, that's like a whole other topic within itself. Like, I'm doing the best I can in all areas of my life right now. And it's just, I don't know. I know that nothing I do is going to be right. So I have to just do what is right for me. So how will you stop those behaviors going forward? So it's hard to answer this question without bringing up the very big elephant in the room. So I'm going to try my very, very hardest. Um, so the behaviors of like being controlling and controlling of like my partner's time, how I'm going to stop those is I think me living by myself has actually greatly helped with that, just like naturally. Like genuinely, I love being alone. I love living by myself. Like, as you guys know, I don't want to talk about this, but I was in Wisconsin and I chose to come home myself because I love living by myself, like genuinely. And yes, obviously I missed at the time, like I missed Wisconsin and I missed don't get me crying, we're gonna start crying about something else. um, but like I genuinely like I've learned to like love time with just me and like I still have the fear of abandonment. Like it's always going to be there and it's always going to trigger these fucking crazy things, but thankfully with therapy and with practice and with knowledge and with patience and with loving myself and with learning and growing, maturing, all of that, I'm going to be able to not feel such a sense of urgency to have my partner near me, with me, all the freaking time. Like, obviously. And yeah.
What a narcissist means when they say they're getting better. They expect praise for claiming to be better even if nothing has actually improved. They might have been really toxic before, so now they expect praise for being, well, just less awful. If they say, I've changed, it can be a way to downplay past harm, very relevant with Beck accusations, and if you're thinking of walking away, they might promise change to keep you around.
Stop those behaviors. I'm trying to think of what other behaviors. Like talking down to my partner. I think also like that genuinely comes with like maturity. I also was not in like a happy spot back then. And it's like, I think genuinely like working on myself and my mental health and like learning how to respect people more and just like the whole world does not revolve around Amberlynn Reed.
Oh my God, she got it.
Did she get it?
Oh my God, she really got it.
She finally got it.
Even like a tiny little half of a baby step a day is still every day a step closer to improvement, you know? Oh, here's a good question. Okay. So why did you make Beck drive you around when they were in renal failure and over medicated? So I was with Beck for almost 5 years. Beck was over medicated for 3 months. That is it. So they started the medication towards like the middle/end of October 2019. And then they stopped taking it because finally in December, like I was putting my foot down. I actually have, it's on my other phone. I have a screenshot of me telling Beck, because we had the same psychiatrist. And I was like crying. I was like, I love you so much. I miss you. Like something's wrong and we all care about you. Like, and I had an appointment with our psychiatrist. Like it was an appointment for me. And I was like, I'm going to give you that slot because I need you to like, you need to be seen. Like we're all worried about you, like collectively as like a unit. Like it was me, Eric, Ricky, their family, et cetera, et cetera. Like we were so worried. So thankfully, it was only 3 months out of 5 years that Beck was medicated.
On top of being financially controlled, I mentally wasn't in a healthy state of mind for most of our relationship. I was struggling with years of depression, and then when I finally tried to get help, the psychiatrist I was seeing misdiagnosed me and overmedicated me. I was on multiple medications, maybe 4 to 6 at one time. Mood stabilizers, anxiety meds. The combination and switching of medications had me completely out of it. I was bad before, but this was different. I was experiencing a lot of negative side effects, and Amber tried to minimize this by saying it was only 3 months. I don't know exactly when I started taking the medicine, but it was the longer part of 2019, I believe. She also tries to minimize the effects of my kidneys shutting down.
The renal failure was very, very thankfully short-lived because they were on metformin, which is a diabetic medicine. And as soon as like they started taking it, and I think it was like 2 weeks in, they had to get blood work again. And that's when they saw it. And so like immediately they were like, you can't take this anymore. So it was very quick, thankfully, because that was also very, very worrisome.
These two things overlapped, but both had long-lasting effects. The doctors eventually wanted to do blood work because they were considering putting me on lithium, and that's when they found out that I was going into kidney failure. After more testing, they found it was the metformin causing it, and I was able to recover, but it wasn't quickly.
You can go back, you can look at the videos. It was hard and it was scary. I should have never, ever asked Beck to do anything while they were like that. And I'm sorry for that. I take full responsibility. I should have never asked for anything, ever. But they are so perfect, Amber. No skeletons in their closet. It's all you and the Catholic school they went to. That's why they're struggling. Yeah, no one's perfect. I will say that.
Victim blaming. They aren't perfect either. Narcissists are masters of victim blaming because it helps them avoid accountability, maintain control, and protect their fragile egos. Instead of admitting they hurt someone, they twist the situation to make the victim seem responsible for their own suffering.
You've said that you can do everything a normal person can. Has that changed then? Every single thing that a normal person, okay, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that I can't do. Let's be real. Can't skydive. A lot of roller coasters I probably can't go on, et cetera, et cetera. Like the list can go on. But like normal everyday activities, I can do every single one of them by myself without any help, but everything is hard.
Why narcissists deny their struggles. A narcissist's biggest fear is looking weak or out of control. They'd rather lie, deflect, or attack others than admit that they're struggling. Instead of expecting honesty, focus on protecting yourself from their denial or emotional dumping.
I said in my members live stream that Beck and I were friends for a year after we broke up, and that Beck did not want me telling anyone, obviously, because of backlash. And so then Salty Crab literally said that in their video, and Beck was reacting, and Beck was like, that never happened. We were not friends at all. I never said that. Never said that. So I have a screenshot of that being true. So I'm going to read it and then I'm going to show it. So it was April 17th, 2022, which is almost a year after we broke up. I sent Beck, I am literally getting harassed because people think I lied about us still being friends. Why can't I just tell them I wasn't lying? This sucks so bad. And Beck said, it's best that they don't know. As sad as it is, that would kill my channel. I do not want them knowing because they'll just make it an even bigger, more messy thing. I'm going to address that I saw you and have the rings, but we don't hang out, dude. That's just how it has to be. That's what they have to know because YouTube is my only income and I'm only getting $200. And at the time, Beck was saying that they had a job, even though they didn't. And I said, but what about the backlash I'm getting for lying, even though I'm not lying? And Beck said, if this comes out, it would be even less, talking about money. And I'm like, I'm literally choosing you over myself. And that was that. So I stayed with the lie. It's not irrelevant when Beck literally said last night that it's not true.
Narcissists nitpick. They can't handle being wrong, so they shift attention to something you did. It is false equivalence. They compare a small mistake you made to their major wrongdoing, making it seem like you're just as bad as they are. Narcissists can't stand accountability, so they'll do anything to flip the script onto you. By staying calm, focused, and refusing to get lost in their distractions, you take away their power to manipulate the conversation.
What is happening? I feel like I thought I was gonna be crying more than laughing. Ugh. And then this is where they said that they lost their job, and YouTube didn't know about it. You guys thought that they still was working.
When a narcissist discredits you. A narcissist may try to discredit you in several ways, often with the intent to manipulate how others perceive you and undermine your credibility. A narcissist might try to embarrass you in public, using ridicule or sarcasm to make you seem foolish or incompetent. Or they might attack your reputation by questioning your integrity, competence, and trustworthiness.
It's funny because, like, I'm literally like, okay, so something that Beck said straight up was a lie. What Beck said last night was a lie. And, like, I'm also showing that, like, Beck has urged me to lie repeatedly to my audience, and I would do it to protect them. It is what it is. I don't know.
Narcissists enjoy your struggles. When you fail or face challenges, the narcissist feels a sense of superiority. Your downfall reinforces their belief that they're better, more capable, or more deserving than you. It is validation of their narrative. This reinforces their perception that they're right and others are wrong, including you.
Beck already admitted that, though. No. Watch their live stream from last night. They literally said, I wasn't friends with them. I wasn't friends with AMBERLYNN. That's not true. I never said that. That's what they said. At this point, y'all both messy. I'm very messy. I'm literally messy. I was toxic. Like, it wasn't good at all. But, like, people are genuinely so committed to, like, me being the bad guy that, like, they will not see any, like, wrongdoing in Beck. Like, it is so weird to me. I don't want you guys to think that they're a bad person, because that's not my motive, because they're not. But, like, accountability needs to go around everywhere.
No one was thinking that. Beck has made mistakes, as we all have, and they've owned them. No one was thinking that they're a bad person from your anecdotes, despite it being your desired effect.
Girl, no, we see it. Beck clearly wiped you. See, this is like that moment where I was like, where I literally almost slipped, and I was like, you know what I did? You know what I did for them? But I can't. I would never. Oh, wait. So also part of the live stream last night from Beck, they were literally laughing at me, but that's fine. I quoted it. So, they were like, oh, there's something else I want to talk to you guys about. Giggle, giggle. This is good. I'll have to save it for later, though. That's what they said in the live stream. And then they also added on It's stuff that I'm holding on to just in case. Laugh, laugh, laugh.
I don't care.
So, yeah, it was April 10th or 9th or something like that. So it was the second time I ever met Beck in person, and they were staying the night with me, and we were making out on my bed, and they were trying to go further than that. And I literally told them right then and there, I had to be like nice about it. I was like, I can't do this unless like I'm actually in a relationship with someone. That's just like how it's always been for me. Like when it comes to physical in-person intimacy, I don't know what it is. That's just how it's always been. Obviously not when I was in high school. Like when I was in high school, that was different. So anyways, it was not an hour later. That was when Beck asked me to be their girlfriend. And it's like, I look back now and I'm like, I don't understand the situation. How did I force them to ask? I literally just said, like, I don't feel comfortable being intimate to that like degree unless like I'm in a like Beck could have said, yeah, I understand, and we could have just like moved on. I don't know. It's just like weird.
How a narcissist rewrites the narrative. It's a form of gaslighting and manipulation. This tactic allows them to control the story, avoid accountability, and damage your credibility while maintaining their own image. They conveniently forget things that they said or did, but vividly recall or invent details that support their version of events.
Did you force Beck into a relationship? Absolutely not. You can't force someone into a relationship. What type of traits do you want to have as a person, and is it possible for you to become that person while engaging in this community and toxicity? So to answer the second part, no. What type of traits do you want to have as a person? I want to be empathetic. I want to be a good person, like behind the scenes. Like a lot of people are like, you're not a good person if like you give something to the homeless, or you give money to the homeless, or you donate to charity and you have to tell everyone. Like very that person. Which thankfully I am, but I want to be like overall all around good, but I know that like that's not like there's going to be a little bit of bad in everyone, and that's just like genuinely like the realism of it all. But like I want to like regulate my emotions better, and I want to be more like spiritual and like connected to the universe, and I want to be more mature and more confident.
They want validation, not growth. When a narcissist says, I'm trying to be a good person, it usually doesn't mean what it would for somebody with genuine self-awareness and a moral compass. Instead, it often serves as a manipulation tactic or image management strategy, rather than a true commitment to any self-improvement.
Why do you think you're so controlling in your relationships? Ugh. People hate, I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why people hate when I talk about my BPD, but it has to be one of the weirdest things I've ever experienced in my life, because that's genuinely something that I struggle with. But that's why. There's no excuse, obviously, but the main reason why a lot of people have BPD is due to their childhood and being abandoned constantly. And so what BPD is it's rooted around abandonment. So when anything makes me feel like I'm being abandoned, it's like this controlling feeling comes out, and it's not good. And oh my God, thank God it's gotten so much better. But like, yeah, that was definitely, yeah.
It is because you lie. The overwhelming thought in the community is that Amber is not seeing a therapist, is self-diagnosed, and is only spouting things that she reads from her books. We have no idea if this is true or not, but like the boy who cried wolf, no one is going to take a chance on believing her.
Do you think you're a narcissist? I've had moments where I'm like, am I a narcissist? So I genuinely don't know. Every like professional I've talked to about it has been like, nah. So I don't know, but I do have narcissistic tendencies. Yes, I do. Do you think 10 plus years of horrible behavior gives you the right of forgiveness? I think everyone should be forgived if they're accountable for what they did, you know? Play choosy on live. With what? I don't really have anything to play choosy with in this current moment. But I would. Are you joking? I'd play choosy with you, Danny. Let's do it. Let's do it. Like it literally is the most calming thing in the world. So I'm not going to be talking about Tommy. I'm not going to be talking about feederism. I'm not going to be talking about any of that. So you can send me as many super chats as you want, but I'm not going to respond to it because I already set that boundary. But yeah, it's weird because like Beck never said no. Like Beck genuinely, like it was like, hey, you want to do choosy? And they're just like, yeah. Like there was never like, no, I don't want to. Doesn't seem interesting. Like there was never like any indication they didn't want to ever. So okay, if you guys are in that sort of situation, I'm being absolute genuine with you. So you're in a relationship and there's something that you do that's fun. Let's say painting. I don't know. Say you paint and you want your partner to do that with you. And so then you're like, hey, do you want to paint with me? And they're like, yeah. So you guys paint together. But then years down the line, they're like, I was forced to paint. I'm being 100% genuine. What do you do with that?
Narcissists and emotional attunement. They are emotionally shallow. When your narcissistic partner cannot read your feelings, it's usually because they lack empathy or simply don't care to understand emotions that don't serve them. Narcissists often struggle with emotional attunement unless it directly benefits them.
Like I actually want advice because I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. Was Beck scared to say no? No, because they said no to everything else. And I'm laughing because it's like we didn't do a lot of things together. Like I wanted to like play board games and play video games with them and like get into like TV shows together. We didn't do anything together, you know? So because they had the freedom in saying no, you know, if you didn't want to do something, then don't. But like they never indicated they didn't want to do choosy.
Well, Amber, let's be real. Who doesn't want to play choosy? Come on. Ay. Well, I'm going to stop it there. The rest of the stream just really devolves into her reiterating the same talking points and reading chats that tell her she's pretty. And we don't need to cover that. But I think we've covered enough. I look forward to seeing you at Amber's live stream tonight, and I'll recap it for the live tomorrow. I'd like to thank you all for joining me at this Narc Alert look at Amber's public live stream of last week. It's so much fun to get back to Narc Alert content. Please drop me a like, subscribe if you love the content, and grab a channel membership. I look forward to seeing you at the live stream on Wednesday. And until we meet again, you know the routine. Just be kind. And hasta luego.